It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for being with us. Joining us now in studio, I want to introduce you to Valerie Long. Valerie, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Valerie, you are the director of an organization called Options on Main.
Yes.
Which is a pregnancy resource center in Jonesboro. What can you tell us about that?
Options on Main has been in existence in Jonesboro since 1939. And all of our services are free and confidential to the public. We are a faith-based nonprofit organization, and we take no government money. We survive solely on private donors, churches, and businesses to keep our doors open.
Yeah.
And faithfully, folks have kept our doors open since 1930, or for 39 years, since 1980.
So, I'm familiar with the organization, and matter of fact, I've been to the event that you guys put on once a year, the fundraiser, and it's always really, really great. It's coming up on May the 2nd. Talk to us about that.
Coming up first Thursday in May the 2nd. This year we will have Gianna Jessen as our keynote speaker. Gianna is an abortion survivor.
Wow.
Her mother had a saline abortion when she was 7 months pregnant, and Gianna was born alive. And she is probably one of the most incredible pro-life speakers you will ever hear. Mm-hmm. She's got a wonderful testimony. She has spoken all over the world. She's addressed Congress. She was actually what prompted George W. Bush to write into law the, what's it called? The Born Alive Act.
The Protection Act.
Yes.
It's interesting, the whole Born Alive issue, certainly has been in the news recently.
Yes.
You had the governor of North Carolina saying that a baby would be held comfortable, made comfortable, then the mother would make this decision. Now, the good news is I just came out of the General Assembly where I covered it for I guess since January 14th, and they're done. And we had some great pro-life legislation. We've got some people, this is something that I think Arkansas is in agreement. We've got abortion groups calling Arkansas extreme. Mm-hmm. So if pro-abortion groups calling Arkansas extreme, I think we're doing the right thing.
Yes.
So that's very encouraging. And so in light of that, though, in light of what New York is doing, saying that you should be able to murder a child, up to the very, very last day before it's born. Mm-hmm. You've got North Carolina, you've got other states doing this. If there is a worthy cause, you guys are saving lives. Roe versus Wade is still a thing, but you guys are saving lives because you're making relationships with young women who are in a very confused part of their life, right?
Right, exactly. And thankfully, Arkansas is the second most pro-life state in the nation, second only to Arizona. And I've been told that we're actually first now, just in the past few months.
Yeah.
No one wants to have an abortion. Nobody wakes up and says, I am going to go have an abortion today. Mm-hmm. These girls are scared. They're confused. A lot of them feel like a pregnancy may mess up their plans, or maybe it's not the right time, whatever. But we are there to let them know that there are other options and that they are cared for. There are people that love them, and regardless of what they choose, and we never coerce anybody to make a choice to parent or to place for adoption. But if they do choose abortion, we want them to know that we're still there for them, we still care for them, and we offer a post-abortive recovery and support group there.
What are the statistics on women who have had abortions?
Nationally, it's about 1 in 4.
Okay. So think about that. 1 in 4 women have had this procedure done, and a lot of them, from what I have heard, they regret it, especially if they go on to have a child later in life.
Yes.
And it is just absolutely emotionally vexing for them. And that's another part of the service. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's another part of the community service that you do here.
Yes.
Is coming around them and letting them know that there is forgiveness for this. So somebody's pregnant, they come in, let's say you have a young girl, she's pregnant and she's scared, she comes to Options on Main. What do you guys do?
Typically? Well, when she comes in, we do an intake form, and we kind of make the choice or the decision as to whether or not well, she tells us rather if she's planning to parent, if she's possibly considering abortion, or if she's what we consider abortion vulnerable, which would be somebody who has no support at home, who's not married, who may not be working, or maybe, a very young teenager. They would be considered abortion vulnerable. Depending on how many weeks along they are, first, we do just a lab grade pregnancy test to determine if they do have a viable pregnancy. And if they are over 5 weeks along, then we're able to do a pregnancy test or limited ultrasound to determine whether or not they do indeed have a viable pregnancy.
Okay.
80% of all women have a miscarriage at some point in time. And a lot of times women who may be considering abortion may have miscarried already anyway, or may be in that process of.
You ever encounter somebody who comes in dead set on an abortion, that's what they want, and then you guys offer them this ultrasound, and is there ever a change when they see the baby?
Absolutely. 80% of all women that see that heartbeat will choose life. They will. It makes all the difference.
Okay.
It puts humanity into their situation.
So that's an interesting statistic. 80% of those who actually see their child with the ultrasound, they choose life. So that's why you guys need to stay viable here. I mean, because and I want to make this point. You guys are attempting to save as many children as you can by forging relationships with women who are confused or scared and they don't know what to do. They didn't plan for this.
Right.
And it's out of the caring. It's out of the. And it's not that you just care for the baby. From what I can tell, you guys genuinely care for this person who's in this situation.
Absolutely.
And they respond to that love. Most of the time, by saving the child's life, right?
Yes. And like I said, no matter what they choose, we want them to know that we're there for them before, during, and after whatever their situation is. And I mentioned too that we rely solely on churches, businesses, private donors. The churches in our community truly are an on-ramp from us into the community for support for these girls. Like I said, we are faith-based. We do, and since we don't take government money, we do have the freedom to talk about church with them, to present the gospel, to pray with them when that opportunity presents itself. But there's only so much we can do in that hour of time.
Right.
And we rely so much on the churches here in Jonesboro, and we've got such a strong system of support. It's my prayer that every church in Jonesboro will be a haven for these girls.
Yeah.
That's the first place people need to feel like they can go for support.
Yeah.
And a no judgment zone.
Yeah.
We tell people our center is definitely a no judgment zone, and we're there for them.
Yeah. What about the guys? What about the fathers of some of these children? You guys have programs for them as well, right?
We do. We offer what's called an empowerment program. It is basically an 8-week parenting program, and we invite the men to come alongside their significant others or their wives to be a part of that. We invite professionals in the community to come in and talk to them about what to expect in labor and delivery, what to expect after the baby's born, child safety, nutrition. We even go into some basic finance classes for them, and some things that all of us take for granted that we assume everybody knows about.
Yeah.
But just some basic parenting life skills. And along with that, we have a Bible study for them. But we've had some of the guys recently, one fella said, you know what, coming here and being a part of this and hearing what I've heard makes me see that I can be a good father, that I can be a good husband one day. And they see the importance of a God-centered marriage and a good family foundation.
Yeah.
And truly that's what it all boils down to, is the breakdown of the family. That's what's caused all of this. And if this generation can truly grasp a hold of the importance of how God intended the family to be, husband and wife, and to raise the children in a healthy, nourishing environment.
Yeah.
But we definitely come alongside the guys as well.
Yeah, I would add to that. I would say, one of the reasons God created the family, we forget that sometimes. It's from a biblical context, it's God that created the family, and he did it because it's the easiest way for him to show his love. It's just the easiest way for you to love it's easier to love your family than a stranger on the street. It just is, right? And so God is easier to show his love by, the love for your children, the love for your spouse, and that sort of thing. And that's one of the ways you worship God. And the easiest way, that's why the enemy, spiritually speaking, that's why the enemy goes after the family, because they want to cut off the worship of the Creator, which is what we were designed to do. We're talking with Valerie Long. She is from Options on Main, a pregnancy resource center. It's based out of Jonesboro. You guys, I'm sure, service the region. Now, you have, do you guys still have the ambulance with the ultrasound in it? Is that still a thing?
We do still have capability of that. I'm going to get a newer unit.
Okay, you have some goals.
Yes, hopefully have that up and running again in the next year or so.
So the ideally what happens is you're able to take the ambulance that's equipped with an ultrasound and go somewhere else, make it mobile, go to a neighborhood and offer these ultrasounds right there. And again, 80% see the ultrasound, they choose life. So trying to, again, save as many lives as possible. Kate, Joe, can we throw the website up here? This is the website. It's JonesboroPRC.com. And you can see, how easy the website is. It's geared towards women who are scared. Am I pregnant? What are my options? It's even got a tab for men here. And so your big event is on May the 2nd.
Yes.
Where is it going to be? And if people want to come, is there still time to come?
It is going to be held at the First National Bank Arena at 6 o'clock May 2nd. As of now, I think that all seats are filled.
Good.
But
that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. There's always last-minute cancellations and that sort of thing. If anybody wants to call me at the center next week, and we can see if we have any seats left. But looks like it's a full house.
But people listening can always send donations.
Absolutely. And honestly, our faithful monthly donors are our bread and butter. That's what keeps us going. So yes, we welcome that. If anybody wants to contact me.
We've seen here. And there are pregnancy resource centers everywhere, all across the state. So those of you listening, in Fort Smith or Little Rock or Russellville or Stuttgart, you guys know, that these ministries work. They're there, and you've got your Netflix subscription. I don't know what a Netflix subscription is these days, but a lot of times, it's negligible. If everybody were to just give the equivalent of what they pay for Netflix every month, it would go a long way. All that adds up, and every dollar helps. And Valerie, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate the work that you guys are doing with Options on Main, and God bless you. And
thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Valerie Long, go to the website, folks, Jonesboro PRC, that stands for Pregnancy Resource Center. It's Options on Main, a pregnancy resource center, and we'll be back in just a moment.